What have I been using to make my film? Hi, I'm Kira, and 55 days ago, I started creating a horror film. I know nothing about filmmaking whatsoever. Everything I do know is either self-taught, or you guys have been teaching me some very lovely tips along the way. As someone who has never experimented with filmmaking before, naturally I had to do a lot of research as to what I'm supposed to mentally prepare myself for from beforehand. And naturally I also had to do some extra research to see what sort of equipment or techniques or tools a lot of people would recommend, whether they're professionals in the industry, amateur filmmakers such as myself. Yeah, a lot of people, as you can imagine, recommend the same sort of devices, the same tools, but they all either have a subscription or they cost a whole bunch of money. And let's face it, I said from the very beginning of this entire filmmaking journey that I have no budget. Even if I would love to invest a lot of time and energy into all of these little fun things, I can't. Besides, it's not as if I even know how to work with all of that equipment. And I'm not gonna bring someone on who does have experience with that equipment, but then I can't pay them for that. Which reminds me, from the beginning of this entire filmmaking journey, I've had so many people from the industry reach out to me saying that they want to support me however they can, they would love to work with me. Seeing as I'm not in a position to actually pay these people what they deserve for their work, I decided that maybe I could find a way for you guys too, should you want to work with them. The people who reach out to me offering their help are known as my Cinch supporters. Cinch is the name of my film, by the way, in case none of you kept up with my content like you promised me you would. If you would like to know more about these people who reached out to me who deserve to work as much as possible in this industry, feel free to check out the link in my description below. Now, with all of that put aside, I'm not gonna spend a lot of money on things I'll never use again. So, here are my recommendations for the tools and equipment I have been using throughout my filmmaking journey. Starting off with, I assume might be the most important thing, the filming equipment. Now, this one I am cheating a little bit with just because I knew from the very beginning that in order for me to enter my film into this film festival Video Nasties, the film has to be no more than 15 minutes. Obviously, that is not a lot of time to execute a full-on concept, so I decided to keep everything as simple as possible. To maintain this level of simplicity and to make it so much easier for myself, I decided that the best course of action was to make a found footage film. Since the whole point of a found footage film is that everything feels like it was recorded on an everyday item that someone just happened to have come across, I didn't need to pay for a lot of equipment. In fact, I didn't have to pay for anything. The entire film is going to be recorded on my mobile. Now, the other thing I needed to consider is what I was going to do for editing. Again, I did cheat a little bit with this one. I've been filming on my phone, so I've just been using whatever video editing app I can use. The one in particular I'm using, it's CapCut. Yeah, I know that this isn't really something your filmmaking lecturer would encourage, and fair enough. There are video editing softwares out there which are also cheap. Something which I especially like about CapCut is that you can upload up to like 30 or 40 minutes of footage and it doesn't crash out. Obviously, it does depend on your phone storage and what amount of space you do have specifically for that app and everything that you're uploading onto it. But if you got it, you can flaunt it. Speaking of gotting and flaunting something, hey, this has nothing to do with the video at all, but that was actually a very unplanned pun, and I'm gonna utilize it now. I'll be playing Ula in the national debut production of The Producers. This is a musical that means a lot to me. It was a privilege to get to audition for it, let alone being cast in it. We actually do have a fundraiser taking place this Friday, 11th July at Soho Xira, and it would be lovely if you guys can come watch, support us. We'll be performing some lovely songs from musicals, whether you know them or not, whether you love them or hate them. You're going to be seeing our faces, you're going to see the lovely talent which is bestowed on everyone in the cast as well as the production team. Okay, now that I'm done from that shameless plug, now it's time for me to talk about this other artistic project that I am working on, which for some reason or another you guys are encouraging me to talk more about. Once I'm done using CapCut for their free accessible features, I will then use another free accessible software, which is DaVinci Resolve. This is one which I'm especially more comfortable with using, especially since I have more experience using it back when I did my video essays for my dissertation projects. And because of that, I have more of an idea as to what I can do with this one rather than with this one. Of course, when it comes to your projects, you can use whichever one you feel is more accessible or more fitting towards your work. If you want to go for something which feels a bit more old school video editing, I recommend DaVinci Resolve. Or if you would like to use something which is more accessible, something that feels a bit more in tune with the younger generation, I would recommend CapCut. Or if you want to be professional like I am, you can use both and just mix and match whichever ones you like. Finally, I would love to tell you guys what I've been using to design or create my props, whether it be traditionally or digitally. Since I'm not allowed to give away any spoilers about the film because it has a premiere during the run of this film festival, which will be on Halloween, I can only tell you guys what is already made public, which is essentially what I've used for the poster. Unfortunately, in order for me to use the zip which you see in the poster, I did have to sacrifice one of my old hoodies which I got from one of my first ever shows, which was the Cinderella pantomime. As heartbreaking as it is, at least I know that one of my old artistic projects can then pave the way for my newest one, which I think is very fitting, seeing as in order for you to work as an artist, you just have to be in a position where you're always ever growing your craft. As for all of the blood and gore that you see, it's just red paint. Now, as I mentioned in my previous video, I used Canva to design the poster, but I've also been using Canva to design some of the props. There is some printed material that is featured in this film, especially one that is showcased towards the end of the film, which for obvious reasons I cannot spoil to you guys right now. But I do have to say, if you are someone who's willing to put in the time and energy towards considering every single accessible feature that is available with Canva, you would be so surprised with yourself with whatever high quality work you can create from it. I cannot wait for you guys to watch this film so you know exactly which prop I am talking about, because I am so proud of how it came out. And there we go! I hope this video helped some of you out there who are either asking yourselves what I've been using, or how I've been using it, or how much it cost me. Very simple answer, nothing at all. So if you guys are also experimenting with your little filmmaking journey, maybe you can either ask me what you've been using, which you also find to be cost efficient or free, or you can simply ask yourself, just as I did,